I'm a legal advisor at a busy magistrates court, and I always returned from court completely stressed out and gagging for a drink. I constantly played over in my head the day's cases, and I was often still turning and tossing into the early hours. However, since I discovered Tai Chi, all of that has changed, and I feel much fitter in mind and body. Now I go home most evenings, get rid of the stiff and starchy suit, slip into something more comfortable, and practice the form. It's been a real life changer. My old life was to flop down into a chair, stare at the TV without taking it in, and get up feeling just the same. I was initially introduced to the art about 3 months ago by a friend who persuaded me to go on a Tai Chi weekend. I was unsure about it to start with, but I can honestly say that I'm glad I agreed to go. I have more energy, and I wake up feeling optimistic about the day's grind instead of dreading it.
I've been retired a number of years now, and I've always been interested in alternative therapies, and I've been involved with Reiki in recent years, and then I was offered the opportunity to become involved with Tai Chi, which I found very therapeutic. It's very mind centering, and I found it very relaxing. And I've now been doing it for a number of months, and I shall continue to do it because I find it's very, very good indeed. It was very relaxing. I usually do it in the morning for a quarter of an hour each time, and occasionally in the evening. And I shall certainly continue to practice Tai Chi, and I think it's good for anybody who feels that they need to unwind at the end of the day.
I work as sales director for a design company, and that involves a lot of travelling. I'm in cars a lot, I'm on planes a lot, but most of all, I'm staying in hotels. My run release before was going running. I used to go running in the morning, in the evening, depending on what was there. And there was one day I'd been on the treadmill, and I came out and there were some guys waiting outside, and I just had to be nosy, say, "What are you going to do?" And they said, "Tai Chi." And I kind of scoffed, and they said, "No, you ought to try it." And they persuaded me. So I went into this half-hour class, and that night I slept really well. Couldn't put it down to the Tai Chi, I just thought maybe it was something else. And 2 weeks later I went to the same hotel, did the Tai Chi class, slept well again. But the guys also persuaded me to go on a retreat. And that really did change me. After 2.5 days of this retreat, I was sold on Tai Chi. I loved it. To the extent that I could then go out and actually do my Tai Chi myself. I could do a quarter of an hour a day, and it helps me relax and plan the day. It really does help me.
Historically, as far as we know, the art of Tai Chi Chuan, which translates loosely as supreme ultimate fist or boxing, can be traced back to the Chen family, to Chen-style boxing. From there to Yang style, to Wu style, there's also the Wu Hao style, and many others. Tai Chi Chuan is a martial art. It's based on a number of key principles, the most essential of which is to relax, to use the whole body as one unit, forget self, to be interested in the other person, to blend with them, and to use their force against them. Tai Chi Chuan has seen many modifications, many different types of forms being developed in the 20th century, starting with people like Cheng Manqing in the 1930s, Sun Lutang in the 1920s, creating his own form, a blend of Tai Chi, Xingyi, Bagua, all Chinese martial arts sharing common concepts. After the Second World War in the People's Republic of China, the Chinese government put together what they would call standardized Tai Chi forms, 24-step and 48 and so on, to improve the health of the population, to teach standard forms of Tai Chi. And it's seen an explosion into even further forms, but they're all based on key principles. And so in the weekends that Andy and I run, we're taking a simple set of movements derived from the Yang style, from Cheng Man-ching's Tai Chi. And what we're trying to convey to those that come along is the exploration of principles, to understand the principles of Tai Chi, so that whilst a person is imitating when learning the movements, they're working on principles, and that is what they take away with them, so that they're exploring the principles through the movements. So it's an art of strategy in a sense. It's about mind, it's about body, it's about energy. All three combined, not separated, not as in, René Descartes' I think, therefore I am, separating psyche and soma, mind and body. In Tai Chi, it's all one. Every action, it's all on the count of one. Not think about it, oh, hold on. This is all too segmented. Tai Chi's all got to be one thing. How did I come to Tai Chi? Well, it started at school in the 70s, where I was spectacularly inept at any physical discipline. I dropped the shot put on my toes. I believed in passing the rugby ball forwards, that kind of thing. The last person to get picked for the football. And during that period, in the 70s, there was a television program called Kung Fu with David Carradine. And instead of the usual, just beat them up doing fantastic movements, it actually attempted to blend philosophy, ethics, morality, and the use of martial arts as a last resort, effectively, rather than going in and beating the guy up and imposing themselves. That struck a chord with me, and I also became interested in energy. So through things like shiatsu, acupressure, flow of energy in the body, meridians, the health promoting aspect. And I started other martial arts. I tried Aikido, Wing Chun, Wushu Quan, Taekwondo, and they were great, but they weren't really for me. They weren't for my personality, or didn't appeal to me particularly. And I then picked up a book on Tai Chi called The Tao of Health and Longevity by Da Liu. And the pictures of this man's postures were fantastic. There was just something about them, and I thought, this is what I've been looking for. So it wasn't even seeing someone do the movements, it was about the energy of that person in a photograph. And it immediately communicated to me. I was working in Manchester, and I found a teacher, Danny Connor, well-known martial artist, and I started with him. I started learning 24-step Tai Chi, one of these standard routines, and I thought it was fantastic. Unfortunately, my job in Manchester came to an end, and I moved back to London in 1982, and I came across John Kells, who was teaching basically Tai Chi derived from Yang style, from Cheng Man-ching, to his teacher, Dr. Chi Chiang Tao, with an emphasis on light and natural, being spirited, softness, yielding, not using force against force. And I studied with John from 82 till 2004, learning different forms, partner work, exploring what John Kells now calls his heart work. And I just learned a phenomenal amount from him. Every day I practice Tai Chi. It's not just about the movements, it's about the principles, how you apply them, how you relate to people, how you communicate, about finding stillness in movement, movement in stillness, carrying that into your daily life, building up a gentle strength in the body, improving the quality of your energy, your awareness. I'm now currently exploring another form of Tai Chi, developed by Sun Lu Tang, Sun style, which is not so athletic in the sense that there aren't any really low postures. You don't go low down. It's more upright, natural stepping, and it's much tighter, much closer, and yet the same principles. And he derived that from combining Xingyi, Bagua, and Tai Chi. to form this style. I'm now studying that with David Martin in Leicester, who was actually taught by Sun Lutang's daughter and was a formal disciple. So the lineage goes right back to the founder. And one of the mottos that both Andy and I have is never stop learning. Okay, so we're always exploring Tai Chi, and I've started to branch out from the Tai Chi that I did with John Kells to look at other forms and to try and understand the principles within that. And I've been able to use the Sun style especially for teaching elderly people in a retirement home. Many of them wouldn't be able to do the normal form, they can't stand for any length of time. So we do it in a chair, and the movements of Sun style lend themselves uniquely to that. And they've all really enjoyed that and derived great benefit. It's the only class that people regularly come to, and it has lasted more than 3 weeks. So 5 months later, we're still going strong, and I'm hoping to develop that further. One of the important points about Tai Chi, as I've said, is that it's based on principles. There are many forms of Tai Chi, many teachers, and if you just want to learn a sequence and practice it as an exercise, that's great, that's fine. If you truly want to understand Tai Chi, beyond just this external movement, you need to understand the principles. You need to find a teacher who understands those, who can demonstrate it and explain it, not just verbally, but physically. Okay? So that's where the martial arts aspect can come in, because you can demonstrate the principles of Tai Chi in a physical movement, okay, with a partner. So, whereas you don't have to be interested in Tai Chi from a martial arts perspective, regardless of whether you're doing it for health or as a martial art, it's based on principles, and those principles are what you need to embody. And they are things like sink and relax. So that's relaxing the body, letting go. So for instance, the shoulders, let go a bit more. Letting your body weight relax down so you start to feel the ground beneath your feet. Taking yourself out of the top half of your body, down into the lower abdomen to start with, into the ground. So it's connecting to the earth, whilst at the same time maintaining a lightness at the top of the head so that you don't collapse the body. Tai Chi moves in a connected and fluid way. You wouldn't just move the arms. The whole thing is connected. The arms are connected through the back. You're using the pelvis, the lumbar spine, and the legs all together to learn whole body power. That is what you have to learn in Tai Chi, rather than just moving in a segmented fashion. Yeah. It's all one, mind, body, spirit, energy, one thing, based on these principles. And there are many more, but the most important ones are sink and relax, body as one unit. And that's certainly what we try and convey in what we teach on our weekends. So that if people are motivated to go and learn Tai Chi, to find a weekly class, then we've tried to give them the keys to Tai Chi. It's not the external form that matters, it's the principles that matter. You know, different forms, they might look different, but they all work from the same principles. Might have a different interpretation of them, but it's the same principle. And that's a key factor that we try and get across. And it's a thing that allows a person to make Tai Chi theirs rather than just to imitate, with practice. It's like an onion. You have one skin, that's your level of understanding today. You suddenly understand something more about Tai Chi, remove one skin of the onion, and it goes on. So Tai Chi is something that I've become enthralled with. It's become an integral part of my life, so that I don't separate it anymore into, I'm doing Tai Chi. Simply, Tai Chi is, and you are Tai Chi. You can practice in a really small space, using a few movements, You don't need any special equipment just or gear, just one body and move and enjoy it.
Tai Chi is an exceptionally wide art. I think people typically come at it from two angles, either the martial side or the health benefit side. Typically, if you come at it from the martial side, you might have studied one of the external arts, one of the hard arts. Tai Chi is a soft internal art. And a lot of people are very surprised by the sheer depth of Tai Chi when they start to study from a martial perspective. From the health side, there's many benefits to be gained. First of all, Tai Chi works at a very deep level inside the muscles and inside the tendons and the ligaments. It helps to stretch the joints and helps to increase flexibility. From a stress relief point of view, Tai Chi has been shown to help a great many people with stress. And I think one of the reasons for this is the calm, repetitive rhythms that come with Tai Chi. When you learn Tai Chi, you have to continuously study repetitive moves over and over again, and it induces a certain rhythm into the body and into the mind. And I think this is where a lot of the stress relief comes from. So I think, in summary, there's many different aspects to study with Tai Chi, and people come at it from all sorts of different angles. And this is one of the reasons why it's such an open art. It's available for anyone because there's many different reasons for studying it. Firstly, on the physical benefits of Tai Chi, Tai Chi definitely works at a deeper level in the body than say going down the gym or going for a jog. It works on the deep ligaments and the tendons, and it gently stretches and encourages more suppleness in the joints. So what you end up with is a more balanced body. I mean, typically if you do a lot of gym work, you might be doing a lot of upper body work, whereas Tai Chi, it works across the whole body, and it works kind of in a balanced way because it's a continuous set of repetitive exercises. So you end up with a very balanced physique. How long would it take before you'd typically see some kind of benefit from Tai Chi? That's an interesting one. I think in terms of the general sort of feeling of restfulness, you'd fairly quickly get an experience of that. People that come on our retreats go away feeling rested, feeling less stressed. So that can happen in a weekend. As far as practical physical benefits, that may take a year or two. What is interesting about Tai Chi is that it sucks you in. The more you practice, the more you get addicted to it. And you tend to find that by the time you're actually experiencing the benefits of Tai Chi, you've forgotten the very reason you took it up in the first place, which was to get those benefits, because you're actually starting to experience the sheer joy of the art and the depth of it.
How would you use Tai Chi in your day-to-day life?
Tai Chi gives you a general awareness of the here and now. A lot of people, they spend a lot of time with their minds off elsewhere. They're thinking about so many problems, so many distractions, and they forget about the things that are actually important. They don't even have time to sort out the important from the unimportant because they're just so busy. I think Tai Chi teaches you to bring your mind and your body back to the here and now, to pay attention to what's going on at the moment. And it teaches you to take stock of a situation, count to 10 if you like, if the old piece of advice goes, and to actually pay attention to what's going on and therefore see a problem more clearly.
Can anybody do Tai Chi?
I believe anybody can do Tai Chi. On our retreats, we've had all sorts of people. We've had incredibly fit people, we've had very old people, very young people. Christian, my instructor, even teaches people in a wheelchair, Tai Chi in a chair. I believe anybody can get benefits from Tai Chi. Tai Chi does take time, and the reason it takes time is because it becomes part of you and you become part of it. Actual practical exercise, you might only spend 15-20 minutes a day doing it, but actually in reality you're doing it all day long. Even when you open a door, you're thinking about the way you use Tai Chi in your posture to push the door open. Even when you're walking down the street, you might actually start to pay attention to how you walk, how your spine is positioned, and you might find you've actually been walking completely wrong all these years. So I think, in a way, unintentionally, you start spending all day doing Tai Chi. Christian and I realised that there are a lot of people out there that were very interested in Tai Chi and gaining the benefits of Tai Chi, or even just understanding a little bit about it. But in this busy world, they didn't have the time to go along to a club and do the weekly thing. So we thought, how can we get the message of Tai Chi Chuan across? How can we actually put it across to people without persuading them to come along to the weekly club? And this is where we came up with the idea of the retreats. We hold the retreats throughout the UK in country houses, generally with gardens, good food and comfortable accommodation, just to give people the chance to learn Tai Chi Chuan in nice, relaxed environments where we can put it across to our best ability, basically. And what we try and do is teach a short sequence that people can take away and practice if necessary for the rest of their lives. Or if they happen to get hooked, they can then go out and find their own club local to them and join and study more.
Stand with your feet shoulder width apart, the feet turn straight. So they're in line with the shoulders, not the outside of the shoulders. Let the weight relax down to the soles of the feet. Soften the knees. Relax around the hips and the stomach. Don't hold them in a tense fashion. Relax the buttocks. Soften the chest. Your gaze is straight ahead. Let the shoulders relax. Elbows softened. And the hands open. Don't hold the fingers clenched. Everything softening, relaxing down to the ground. Imagine you have a teacup on top of the head to stop the head from slumping. The tongue touches the roof of the mouth just behind the teeth, like you're trying to say L. You swallow any saliva that gathers in your mouth, and the teeth are lightly touching, the mouth gently closed. All the movement is generated from the waist and the hips, so the whole of the lower torso moving as one, with the head and the shoulders following. So we start by having 70% of our weight on our right leg. Now we're going to turn from the hips and the waist to the left slightly and take 70% of our weight to the left, sinking into the left foot. Then you smoothly turn back and shift to the right foot 70%. And back to the left, shifting 70% to the left foot. Turning, shifting to the right foot. So you're shifting the weight from foot to foot. Turn to the left, then to the right. Okay, now we make that a smoother movement. The minute you get to one side, you turn back the other way. All the time relaxing down to the feet, letting the arms relax and hang. So now build up a little bit of momentum. Letting everything relax down. Let the weight go down. The knees soft. Now as you turn and shift the weight, one hand taps on the lower belly and the back of the other hand into the small of the back. So not too slow, not too fast, just nice and easy. A nice steady rhythm. Shifting the weight from foot to foot, not staying in the middle, actually taking the weight slightly to each side, 70%, dropping into each foot in turn.
Try and keep your gaze level. Just keep on going.
And slow down. Okay. Keeping the width between your feet, turn your right foot out slightly. Then step straight forwards with your left foot, reasonable step, not too small, not too long, and the foot straight. Turn your belly button to the front. Imagine there's a stool just underneath you and sit down on it. The weight is 70% on the back foot. Now what we're going to do is shift 70% of our weight into the front foot with the back foot staying flat. Then shift back 70% into the right foot and the front foot stays flat. So it's forwards and back, shifting from foot to foot, again in a nice easy rhythm, allowing the arms to hang, let the shoulders relax. Everything relaxing down. Just let the arms hang completely.
Just try to force the movement with the arms. Let the waist and the legs make the movement. Try to keep the spine straight as we shift backwards and forwards.
And slow down. Take the front foot back. Turn it out slightly, keeping the width between the feet. Step forwards with the right foot, toes straight. Sit in, turn your body to the front. And again, shifting 70% from foot to foot. Allowing yourself to drop into each foot. And slow down. Okay. Again, stand with the feet shoulder width apart. Turn the right foot out slightly. With your left foot, step straight forwards. Again, a reasonable step, not too far, not too small, and the foot turns straight. Sit down. You're turned off to the right slightly, and you've got the weight 70% on the right leg. The edge of the right hand is in the crease of the hip and the thigh. Space in the armpit, like you've got a little squash ball in there. All the fingers open. The left arm directly above the left leg. The hand kind of level with the mouth, tip of the nose, that kind of height. The hand is not turned straight forward, but turned in slightly. All the fingers open. The space between thumb and forefinger open on both hands. Okay, and the left elbow's relaxed. Still the shoulders feeling that they're relaxing down. So you can think of having heavy elbows. Okay, so we're starting on our back leg, turned off to the right slightly. Now we turn straight, shift 70% forwards, and as you do so, the right hand goes forwards and up, the left hand comes back down to the crease of the hip, the thigh joint. Turn and shift back to the right, and you're back to how you started. So now it's just nice and easy, rhythmically forwards and back. Keeping the elbows feeling heavy. All the weight relaxing down to the feet. Just a nice, smooth, even movement. So it's the turning of the body and the shifting of the weight that help to put the hands there, rather than leading from the hands. And slow down. Change the feet round. Left foot turned out, right foot forwards. Keep the space between the feet, that shoulder width space. The weight's on the back leg, you turned off to the left slightly. Left hand in the crease of the thigh, right hand up, turned in slightly. Again, shifting 70% forwards. Left hand goes forwards as you shift forwards, right hand comes back. And then turn to the left and shift back. So back to how you started, okay? So it's forwards and back. Keep the elbows down. It's soft, smooth, even, continuous. And slow down. Okay. Have your feet parallel, shoulder width, feet turned straight. Sit in. We're going to have the weight slightly more on the right foot to start with. Now, curve your left arm in front of you like you're embracing. Fingers open, left elbow down. Don't hold the elbow up, we want the shoulder to stay relaxed. Okay. Curve your right arm in front of you, palm looking towards the lower belly. Okay, the hands aren't directly above each other, they're slightly apart. All the fingers gently open. So it's like you're holding or embracing a big ball. Now you keep this shape with the arms, you turn your waist and your hips and shift 70% to the left leg. When you get there, your top hand turns flat, you turn back to the front and the hands reverse. Bottom hand comes up, top hand goes down. Turn your waist and hips and take 70% of weight to the right foot. Top hand turns flat. Turn back to the front, the hands change position. Carry across to the left and front. Always the bottom hand rises up as you turn back to the front. And we just keep going from side to side. Still the idea of everything relaxing down. Let the shoulders relax. Be aware of shifting the weight, turning the belly and the hips. Let the head follow.
Now come with this one. Try and move the body in one unit. Okay. So the arms are carried across with the belly. Keep your arms nice and rounded as well.
And relax. Okay. Bring the feet together, the heels touching, the feet turns out slightly. The weight over the whole of the feet, soften the knees, everything still relaxing down. Place your hands on your belly, and first we're going to massage the belly 24 times in alternate directions. First of all, the hands go down, cover the front of the hip, rise up to just beneath the solar plexus. So it's 24 times with the hands going down first, and then 24 times in the opposite direction. Okay. And then reverse 24 times. And relax. Keeping the elbows relaxed, just bending at the elbows, the hands coming up slowly and down slowly. And relax. Turn your right foot out a little bit more. Put your weight onto that side. Bend the leg, so you're sitting into the right leg. Pick up the left foot and gently circle 4 times forwards and then 4 times backwards. And then change over, sink in the left leg, 4 times forwards, 4 times backwards. Sink in the right leg, shake the left leg and foot. Sink in the left leg, shake the right leg and foot. Stand with the feet parallel, a bit wider than shoulder width, with the feet turned straight. Sit on a stool just underneath you. Raise the hands up so they're facing forwards first of all, then take them out to the sides a little bit. So take the arms out to the sides so they're not too close to you. Turn the palms upwards a little bit, so it's like you're turning something in each hand. Shake the hands and the wrists, forearms. And let that shaking go through the body. And relax. Bring the feet back together. Heels touching. Weight over the whole of the feet. Everything relaxing down. Let the weight relax down. Soften the knees, the hips, the stomach, the buttocks. Soften the chest. Let the shoulders relax. Hands relaxed by your side, fingers open. You're looking straight ahead. Tongue touching the roof of the mouth, like you're trying to say la. Mouth gently closed. Now you can have your eyes half open, closed. Just to imagine that you have warm water flowing down the face, the chest, the stomach, down the front of the legs into the earth. And you just follow that sinking feeling down. And just breathe naturally, don't try and control the breathing. So we'll just stand quietly for a minute. And relax. Okay.
The forms of exercises you have seen in this DVD are part of a set of Tai Chi exercises and routines, which, if practiced regularly, can lead to a number of benefits ranging from increased flexibility, a more stable cardiovascular system, or stress relief. Re-vitalise specialises in Tai Chi retreats and weekend breaks throughout the UK. The exercises on this DVD are taught to beginners and experienced practitioners in a friendly and formal manner. We will take you through the basic movements and also the meaning behind them. Tai Chi, as we have heard, has its roots in the Chinese martial arts. To understand the energy in the art, it is important to have some knowledge of the martial aspects. However, the weekends do not focus on the martial side. The weekends are about relaxation and meditation. They are truly a retreat from today's hectic lifestyle. We therefore introduce some of the martial concepts, but only to convey the spirit of this fascinating art. On some of our retreats, we also introduce you to Buddhist meditation. Andy Spragg, the owner and founder of Re-vitalise, is a Buddhist and finds great synergy between Tai Chi and Buddhist meditation. The retreats are informal, the food is excellent, the evenings are generally spent sitting in a lounge or around the dinner table, chatting about what we have learnt and other comparable and related subjects, over a glass of wine or two. All of the retreats offer single rooms, twins or doubles depending on your preference. Some have en-suite facilities. All are comfortable and warm with great food and can cater for varying diets. A retreat is the perfect way to really understand the exercises, combined with a relaxing break.